Well, that music has ended, so let's try
Hello, I'm
this
Isawellen, and this
introduction.
is a brand new podcast. It's season 2, 2 years later.
Me talking over my own introduction. How great is that? It is already 2 minutes in. I can see that I'm going to need to edit some of the beginning credits. I'm just going to go ahead and play that again.
Hello, I'm Isawellen, and this is a brand new podcast. It's season 2, 2 years later.
Hi, how is everybody doing? This is a pop up podcast, as in, I wasn't really organized. I talked to the handyman yesterday and said, "Hey, we should do something." And he's like, "Hey, we should do something because, I'd been talking to him about coming on the show again for almost 6 months. I don't know. And he was busy, I was busy, I was disorganized. I continue to be disorganized. I just started a server for lovers of Omegaverse. I didn't actually put in any of the work. I had a wonderful girl come to me and say, "Hey, I can do this. I love doing this." She set it up. She had a friend. They did some emojis just for us. It is in place now. I'm setting up inviting authors to come and have their own channel within this server. I'm going to have a Discord, and I'm super excited about it because it just won't be about me. There will be a place for authors, there will be a place for readers, and there will be a place for everyone. And so I was been doing that, trying to prepare myself, not very organized, and the handyman is here. And I have been doing trying to write uh, and not, and trying to do podcast and read. I might make the handyman listen to me read just to see if he can give me some professional tips. What do you think? And so here we are. We are finally catching up, and we are going to do a interview chat, whatever. I'm not sure. I have posted, but it was about 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago when I got back from running an errand, and or 5 minutes, I don't know. I have no sense of time. Anyways, I did post to Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see if anybody comes to listen or if it'll just be us. But either way, I'm sure it'll be fun, and I hope you enjoy listening to us on the replay when I post it again. I'm going to invite as a speaker my friend Sherpa, the handyman, the darling friend.
Oh, hi.
You are here. You are here.
Yes, indeed. You can hear me fine, right?
I can hear you fine. So what kind of setup are you using? Are you just using your phone
Yeah. For the time being, yeah.
as it is meant? And so what kind of earbuds do you have? Earbuds, headphones, what kind of do you have for that?
They are earbuds, and they're the really, really fancy kind. They came with my phone.
They came with your phone. And so is it a wired plug-in connection, old school, or it must be old school if they came. Oh my goodness, your phone is like a dinosaur.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only an iPhone 10, but yeah, it's wired, yeah.
Yeah, they don't make them wired anymore. Or did they not make them wired and then they made them wired?
No, I think they've been wired at least until, I don't know, maybe the 11? I don't know. Yeah, they jumped full on to the wireless headphones quick after that, so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, full on, no port, no nothing. You had to use the earbuds totally all the way. Well,
Yeah.
these are working great. I prefer the wired ones for Podbean. The reason I ask is because every guest tries to use either their AirPods
Mhm.
or, their Bluetooth ones, or tries not to use one, and it can be a pain in the butt. It doesn't. The wired ones tend to work. That conversation I was telling you about, the how do I learn to love myself conversation, which I people should go back and listen to because it was really awesome.
Yeah.
my sir had my old earbuds and they did not work properly, and so his
Oh
connection was
no.
not great. Yeah, because they were 2 years old and I had used them a lot, and I think they were worn. Poor guy. But they usually work great. It's usually the best kind of connection. So yeah. So you're using, and do you use this phone and these wired earbuds to record your more professional stuff? Or do you have
Actually,
a fancy mic now?
I, no, it's still just this for the time being. Doing that, doing all the work for that Mustang took a good majority of my funds, so I've just been rocking and rolling with this. And the weird thing is, actually, uh, whenever I record, it works better without the earbuds plugged in. Whenever I'm like recording for audiobooks and stuff like that, it's actually kind of weird. I thought it would be better, but for some reason it's worse. Unless it's, something like this where it's on call and streaming and stuff.
So you
So yeah,
just record directly to your phone and it works fine that way in a
that,
soundproof of places you can find.
that's right.
Well, see, it's a big deal because a lot of people are like, I got to have the fancy setup. And you really don't. You're not the only audio artist I know who started using his phone and worked up to a fancier setup. And sometimes the sounds can be really amazing. The dual AS, those are awesome. They are spendy, but they are awesome, and you can notice the difference. But for a lot of the other stuff, the just talking to somebody or the
Mhm.
interacting or the scripts or whatever, a phone is really fine. And I don't think people know that. And so it's cool that you're still using yours.
Yeah, no, it's it's surprisingly just really good. Especially with phones nowadays where they want the audio super good and the camera super good all the time. I mean, it's a very good place to start. And while the full setup obviously is still desired because you can do a lot more with it, especially if you get a proper audio editing software. You can do all kinds of crazy cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, this will do most of it easily,
But you
hands down.
send your audio editing out, so that doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we use similar things. We use similar things, but
Uses similar things. Yeah, I so if someone wanted to book you, if someone heard this or heard the commander, which you did for me, or heard you in an interview and they wanted to book you, another thing is authors always think they need to go to ACX and pay boatloads of money. Um, how would they connect with you or just any new startup audio artist? Did you have any tips for that?
well, for me specifically, I I'm still doing the DM me through Instagram kind of thing. I mean, you can go through ACX and stuff like that, or you could go through Fiverr, uh,
Yeah, Fiverr.
yeah, and stuff like that. But um, a lot of people that are just starting out, they start out on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. Hell, even YouTube sometimes, and it'll just be small projects. But I think perusing that, perusing different accounts, especially on TikTok now because of how massive it is. If they're taking it seriously, you just shoot them a message or leave a couple of comments asking if they're looking for work, and then yeah, because it's hard to like get to the official side of it. So that's where a lot of us are.
Yeah, I that's the thing. I always love to work with startups with indie in this area, in this indie creatives in this area. And one reason is because you're inexpensive, but also also another reason is because you can gain popularity just by when other authors hear your voice or when other readers hear your voice, and because readers always have their favorites,
Mhm.
that's you gain exposure is a good thing. I know a lot of people are like, collaboration that doesn't earn me any money, but I think for audio especially, um when and some art too, you need to get everything now online is about those views and connecting with people and finding that audience. How else do you, unless you have the money to self advertise, how else do you find that audience if not by doing those early collaborations.
Yeah, that's yeah, basically exactly like that. You just have to put your you got to put your voice in or your art everywhere that you can, as often as you can, and people that have styles that are both wildly in contrast to yours, or they just meld with yours really nicely. Because I mean, hey, it's something that hasn't been done in those two specific ways before, so it just helps. Just
Just
sticking
putting it
those,
everywhere.
yeah, in the water of every pool you can find.
The water of okay, so what are some of the pools you have tried and are still trying? Where are your
Well,
pools, handyman?
well, I'm still doing Instagram. You know, post on there. It's
Uh-huh.
not daily post anymore because I had to play catch up after the trip. Um, I was sort of kind of doing a little bit on TikTok, posting to YouTube, and of course you know,
The
that site.
corn site, the corny site.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I on the corn site, do most of your spicy on the spicy side, do most your commissions that come from there, are they just from putting out work that you can and people hear it and then you offer your commission services and they just tell you what they want and you do that? Is that most of where that comes from? It just is kind of self-generating?
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know, like I was saying, just putting my voice as many places as I can. A lot of them have actually come from that site.
From
um,
that site.
yeah, but some of them have come from Instagram just because of somebody takes interest in a bug I find and I say something and then like I want that on my story.
Hey, yeah. I can't tell you how many people I've posted something, then I post your links, and then they come back. I found a spicy site. One or two people have seen your spicy site before they heard the story you narrated for me. So that was funny. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh.
Uh,
I know that you are having some trouble with censorship on the corny place. Is that still ongoing, or have they relaxed that, or is it you've just changed up your formula, or what?
Nowadays, I'm not actually certain. uh, yeah, it was a hassle for a bit, and then it would take like days for uploads to go through. And nowadays they've been going in within only a couple of hours, and so far,
So
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 far,
far,
yeah,
huh?
no, what do you call it? Suspended video, or whatever
Do
they
you think
call
you
it.
had complaints against you? Would they? I mean, I don't understand how it works compared to like TikTok, which censors every flippin' little thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they have a complaint system, but I think a majority of it was simply they were trying to find a censorship bot, like a censor system to where they didn't have to do as much manually, and it was just
Ah,
going
it was
rampant.
crap. The censor bot was crap. Yeah, like Facebook, where you end up, they censor, I've seen posts where people have been like, cheering on and promote, trying to say, oh, that's great. And they get tagged for spam. Or they're, one post in my group that was, there was a spider or something, I don't know. And somebody's like, oh, you should shoot it. And it was in violation because, guns. And we were looking for a cover for a book that we have coming out, and all the models in the book had guns. Everybody was
Mhm.
holding a gun. Well, I can't market a book with a gun in it, which is just absolutely ridiculous and insane. But there are too many places that would ban the book cover, even Amazon.
What?
I can't even market a book cover with a gun on the cover now these days because it's just too hot button a topic because
Oh.
for various reasons, and I don't necessarily agree with those reasons. I think that it's reactive to and creates a problem that didn't exist, but guns have become cigarettes have become, and I don't know, it's just weird. It's a so yeah, we and there were tons of photos of people holding guns. That when I was looking for warriors and soldiers and all this other stuff, and to
Right.
find it was all a lot of guns, and which I don't mind. Some of the photos were really awesome, but
Hmm.
I couldn't use any of them.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, go ahead.
it's getting pretty ridiculous because especially like they'll do that to you, right? But then they'll have an advertisement for some like really jacked dude dual wielding M60s with a cigar in his mouth. This is fine though. This is fine.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
yeah.
It is crazy. It is really crazy. I was on, and TikTok can be just as bad. I know people that constantly get banned, and all one of the guys I follow, all he does is he posts when he posts a shirtless thing or whatever, and
Hmm.
he told me personally directly in a when I asked him about to do some work for me. He said I worked on or actually he posted this post publicly. I worked on my body because I wanted to be able to portray some of my favorite characters. It was one of his goal for improving his body.
Hmm.
And I constantly get banned and violations for just doing shirtless things when and the comparison he's a
Hmm.
guy, and then there are women doing their bra advertisements that are
Yeah.
worse that are along the lines of what he's I don't, and it's just he the and then in the for the kink community, I don't land on that side of the under the 18 or the young 20, but the
Hmm.
kink community, there would be a lot of young people exploring with kinky content, and they would be okay, but the adults fully clothed trying to teach kinky content had to come up with brand new words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Oh
you
gosh.
seen those?
Yeah, no, I have. Like, it's just because every now and then, right, whenever I have a break, like, I'll game a little bit and they'll be like, wow, oh, I'm kind of tired of the grinding. Let's, scroll through TikTok and just all the different ways that people censor themselves just to not get, like, deleted, basically. It's
Yeah.
insane.
I do not I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. I can't there's content on there and I really enjoy that is a great time eater and me trying to promote doesn't work. I can't seem to get off the ground with anything. And then when I do, it's not, any of my own content. It's me sharing somebody else's content.
Oh.
Hello, Amanda Black. And so yeah, TikTok is a it's a great app, but it's like Facebook. It's just a stranglehold with a censorship, and that the spicy site was censored is hilarious. I
Yeah, I didn't know. I just, like, what is even what?
no, you can't do this. It's too spicy for us
Yeah.
spicy people.
Oh man, and I remember I remember a couple of times, right? So this is just me. There's nobody else in the thing. It's meant to be like half of the participation, and then the listener doing whatever they're doing during. Um, it's the other half. It's a complimentary thing. So it's only me. But some of my videos got flagged simply because either the bot or the person reviewing it, or who knows what even happened, suggested that there was another unaccounted person in there, that wasn't getting ad revenue fairly. That happened so many times. And then some of them, some of them, right? And I don't know if I don't remember if I've ever done any CNC scenarios on the hub, but, I've definitely done plenty of rough stuff. And just some of the regular, like, rough audios, they were just like, oh no, this depicts, sexual violence and non consensual things happening. I'm like, wait.
It depicts, huh?
Yeah, it's just it's either that like the system they got, or they have people who clearly have no idea what anything is in that realm.
Yeah. Yeah. It yeah. And it's funny because you have disclaimers though in anything
Hmm.
you do, and you So you just go in any video. It's at the start of your audios, and at the and then you have the backup, the end, the aftercare at the end, that
Mhm.
and the repeat of the kind of. So the book community does need our own version of TikTok. We need That's where I don't know, you missed it. I started a Discord server because I can't. Facebook and TikTok and everything else is just, and YouTube and everything, the censorship
Yeah.
is just ridiculous. To not Okay, I'm not crude. I don't use a lot of language. I don't
No, no.
use a lot of I don't, but the idea that somebody can control that drives me a little nuts. I'm
I
just
it is. It's just it's a ridiculous concept that they try to push. So definitely doing a Discord community is a good way to go about it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
'Cause
and you don't have a Discord community yet. You probably don't have time. I don't even begin to know where you would fit that into your day.
yeah, just work all the time, every day.
Yeah, I don't know where you would put in your own little audio community. I know that long term, a lot of the audio artists I've talked to, that has really been the way they've been able to build their audience and build their revenue. But it is a time based thing to start off, and you are not quite there yet.
yeah, yeah. Usually it's either individual projects or audiobooks and stuff like that. And especially with an audiobook, that leaves me no time to just try to build groups or anything like that.
Yeah, no. So I get that. And then too, you got to love to be. I know, one of the guys I had on that, he might have come in the chat or been on the panel. His name is Nick the Forage Bear. He has a booming Discord and a huge community. And mostly the women in the community and the people in his community tend to run it, and he just pops in. And then he
Hmm.
does TikTok lives, and he does YouTube, and he does some other engagement that way. But it didn't start overnight, and there were some rocky stuff. He did get to the point where he wasn't chained down to a regular job anymore, but it took
Hmm.
some quite a bit of building, and he enjoys it. But he found enough female um, friends, I guess, to help lead that Discord and be there, because that's a 24-hour. That's not a. They don't self run. You got to have somebody in there who's kind of peeking in and making sure everything is halfway, decent, I guess.
Yeah.
Community wise, that's what I mean. Not you can be as naughty as you want, but
Yeah. But no, yeah, you definitely gotta have some people on your side because you can do a lot of stuff just as one person, but can't do everything. So
no, you
I need some
can't.
help.
I I had someone actually build my Discord. I asked for volunteers. So, and I'm going to invite other authors, and that I thought, "Oh, we could actually see, that would be a fun thing. I could invite you to the Discord and we could do a live in the Discord, which would be a blast. Scheduled a live for sometime in the future, and then maybe do a live reading, and there would be other authors there, and it might lead to something. Who knows?" So I think that would be a lot of fun. Since it's going to be multi-author, I'm hoping it's going to end up being a big Discord. Although the life of a Discord is between 1 to 5 years, so they don't have a very
Oh,
long life
oh,
expectancy.
okay.
Yeah, to maintain them, they tend to start off big, and then everybody joins, and keeping them going is can be an interactive and fun. That can be a bit of a challenge, but um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of books to write, so hopefully the discard will make it through the next 3 or 4 books. What are you? Have you done any more audiobook stuff? I wanted to tell you, I talked to Roxanne. She is on your Patreon, and she was listening to the spooky story, the long run one that you finished probably before you went on your trip,
Oh,
that you were doing almost weekly. What was it?
mhm.
That was
Uh,
being written as you were doing it. Anyway, she said you were amazing. And she went on and on and on about how good the story was and how good your rendition of it was.
well, I really, really do appreciate that. I think it's The Whispering Bones, right? Like the opera
Yes, it
show.
was a Whispering Bones. It was a Whispering Bones. I wanted to put some other, I don't know, whispering something. I don't know. I wanted to add words that didn't belong. So it was a Whispering Bones because you would do a chapter like every, you were trying to post a chapter a week, and I think there were 20 something. I don't know, but that was and she really enjoyed it. And then I enjoyed the one that you did with the train and the spooky Tommy, which was just haunting. I had meant to reshare it on the podcast, but my mic was not working and I couldn't get it uploaded properly, and I was very frustrated on
No.
Halloween. I did share a link to it, but it was I don't know, I'll have to share it again because it's epic. It is absolutely worth sharing.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
yeah,
Um,
you guys did a fantastic job on that.
yeah, no, my editor fucking killed it. Like,
Yeah, absolutely knocked it out of the park. And they don't always do sound with your stuff. So that
no.
was really fun. Had you guys talked about adding the sound and all the stuff?
A little bit. It's just like once I started reading the story, right, and I started getting into it, I was like, man, this this is this is very cool and very interesting. And then the more I started reading, the more I got into it. I'm like, hey man, we got to do this one justice. This is a banger. We gotta do some good stuff. And then yeah, and then I was just like, oh, this here, and then the echoey cave sound and the drips. Oh man,
I
this is.
know. It's very cool. I love to watch the YouTubes, explore YouTubes
Mhm.
and the spooky, shadow and there was a person in the shadow or whatever. That was a face in the window kind of ghostly YouTubes. And every time sometimes they go at, like, the old mining caves. I think there was one where this guy walks in and he's in the entrance, in past the entrance, and the chains, there are these hanging chains and they're moving and he's nowhere near them as he approaches them, and I'm thinking, oh Tommy, no, run. Because he's
Oh,
walking over train tracks. It's an
mhm.
old mine.
Yeah. Thomas is come to find and play with
You
you.
gotta run, you gotta run. Yeah, no, it's pretty. That ended up really great. You really put your voice to effect in that one.
Thank you, thank you. I try to. I try to always put my best effort in in all the work that I do.
What
It's
is your favorite work? Is it stories like that, or is it, naughty stuff, or is it, audiobooks, scripted stuff, or the non-scripted stuff? Do you have a favorite?
I hmm, I would have to say I definitely enjoy like story based stuff the most. Like the Patreon stuff that I do, but I also actually really I don't know. It feels really good to make like just the straight up aftercare things, like the calming, like anxiety nullifying audios that actually help people out. I do take quite a bit of pride in that.
I should write something. I had talked about writing something for dominance, but I should write something just for anxiety. As a writer, I create worlds, and
Hmm.
somebody was really stressing out one time, and I'm like, okay, just listen to my voice. And I created a world for them, a safe place. And that would be fun to have you read in your slow and methodical anxiety. I think I told you about the barn one night. You couldn't sleep. So I would create something like that. My childhood barn where you walk in and the smells and all that. That would be fun. I've always wanted to do something like that, but time,
Yeah,
time. I have so many projects.
I would love to
And
do that though.
yeah, that would be neat. That would be something fun to put on YouTube. I keep meaning to post it on well, if you ever need input for anxiety, let me know. I've suffered with anxiety and depression, PSD, for over 15 years. Absolutely, Amanda Black. Just yeah. And the handyman too. A lot of us have personal personal can't sleep anxiety kind of things. But yeah, absolutely. Um what was I going to say? Oh, the talk we did on relationships
Mhm.
on YouTube. How I was looking at you got better comments than I did. You have more
Wow.
followers than I do on YouTube. But are you still getting positive feedback from that?
I haven't actually had time to check yet, but I mean, yeah, whenever I can,
You
I
never
usually check.
check your comments. It's just
I,
like you do.
yeah, I leave likes. I look at them. I look at them when I can, so that way I can still interact. But oh, some of the ones, some of the ones that I got, they they're basically the reason why, like, I try to make those advice ones or the relaxing ones because whenever I get some of the comments that say, hey, like I was in this particular situation and I didn't know what to do and I was just trying to, watch videos or whatever and I came across yours and like it really helped me when I needed it kind of thing. That right there is everything. That makes it
Yeah.
more than worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally understand that. I absolutely understand that. It is one reason, my first review, well, not one, but one of the best reviews I ever got when I wrote my first book was just a vague, it was a DM. I don't know who you are, and I'm sorry to bother you, but somehow you wrote every fantasy I ever had into one book, and thank you. And that was it. That was like, oh my gosh, I need to keep writing, and then I got others, that were just so incredibly encouraging in that way. And I have come to believe I am very much a people pleaser. And I've made peace with that. That's who I am, and I enjoy it. I enjoy pleasing people and knowing that the books that I write connect. Knowing the work that you do connects and helps and reaches that lonely person or that hurting person or that person with questions who feels like they have no one to go to or that person who needs to escape is huge. It is more than the dollar. It is so much more. I wouldn't keep going. I am plugging along on the fourth book of a series, and I really want to write this book, but man, I would have given up years ago, like last year, if I didn't have readers waiting for it and wanting to hear this story. And it's the readers, not that they're going to buy it, but that they are really want to hear how this story goes. And then all the elements I get to put into it that are going to be about forgiveness and self-forgiveness and understanding and mercy and what love looks like when somebody is really horrible person. And yeah, that I love that you do that. I love that you do the aftercare and that you answer the questions and that when, that even though you have all this interaction online, that you treat these people like people.
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
for you.
that's the way it ought to be. But
It is. But
but
because you're not a face, people
uh,
don't even treat each other like humans anymore.
yeah, it tends to be that tends to be a bit of a problem just because there is not that IRL interaction. You don't even realize that it happens a lot of the time, and then like, oh wow, well, I'm actually kind of being a dick. Some of them realize, but but yeah, no, I love it whenever people what do you call it really connect with it because it's making it and being so excited to make it, but then other people finding that same level of excitement and involvedness into it that you had making it. It's awesome. It's people having a good time and really just indirectly enjoying each other, but also on the advice part, the helping people out. I I guess you could say I want to be the help that I never got, so
Yeah.
other people don't have to faff about struggling for as long.
Yeah. You wanna be the help that you never got. I hear that. I
Mm,
hear that. I I hear that. I had moments like that, where I want to give what was never given. I want to be that person, you know. It
Mm,
is a big deal for me to see people, to take time to say, "Hey, I see you. You may be posting into the void, but I hear you. I see you. You have value." And do you need the helpline? Do you need what can I do? Because there's so many people who are in the void, you know?
yeah.
Like like we were like you now I know a little bit about your background and you don't have a huge family where you know, were always with somebody or something.
Mm,
And so I have one older brother, but I still feel like I'm from a era, you know, all the X generation. What is it? We were Generation X. So X Games, everything else. And I was listening to a thing on how Generation X is because of all this trauma you felt. I'm like,
mm,
no, it's not. And then she goes over, well, you feel this way and you do this and you do that and you do this and you do this because nobody ever listened to you. So you don't ask for help anymore. I'm like, oh. You do this because nobody ever had time for your emotions. And so this is how you respond. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe. But it didn't feel like traumatic at the time. It just felt like
mm.
how things are.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody put it in an interesting way. They were all like, "Oh, I never had all these things." Or, like, how did you guys deal with it before? And then, it's still them playing the second character. They come in the second slide, like, we just didn't know what it was. We didn't have a name for it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We didn't have a name for it. There was no, this is how it was. This is how it was. I was 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. My mom worked. My parents were divorced, and I came home and latchkey kid. She didn't get home until 5 or 6. There was no babysitter or relatives or anybody. And if I left my key at home, I was outside on the doorstep or in the neighborhood or at a friend's house until she got home.
yeah.
And that was me as you know, a 10-year-old girl. Would that happen now?
Oh,
Probably not,
maybe.
but it did
Maybe.
then. And did my mom feel sorry for me that I forgot my key or make a way that I would have a key? Or no, that was my responsibility. And if I did not fulfill my responsibility, I suffered. I didn't make a lunch, I didn't have a lunch. I didn't eat a lunch, I didn't get a lunch. You know, if there was no food in the house, you either found a way to earn food or you waited until she went shopping. You didn't, you know, there was no.
There was no fully stocked pantry or, fridge all the time. It was like, hey, we're making it, be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, my mom, we'd get a bag of oranges,
Mm,
my brother and we could have one or a bag of apples. It was one piece of fruit a day. Do not eat more. This is what you get. You get one a day until they're gone. We used to fight over the breakfast cereal. I,
oh.
the last bowl, he
Mhm.
said, my brother is just as sweet. He set booby traps. I can see you doing this. This is you. This is totally you. He would set booby traps that would wake him up when I would go in his room to find the last bowl of cereal or milk. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a smart kid.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I'm 2 years younger, so I fell for it every time. And this was my childhood. I don't know what, you know, and I know other people have trauma and I'm not it just I never thought about it as trauma. Amanda says it's a giant kick in the pants when you start realizing why you do and feel all the things you do and feel because of trauma you didn't recognize as trauma beforehand. Exactly. I had no clue. My mom didn't beat me. She hit me once, I think. She didn't. She's like, I can't hit you because I'm afraid I won't stop. No, but my dad didn't beat me. My grandparents didn't beat me. I wasn't, you know, even you know, there's no like I can list all the things that can happen to somebody. None of that happened to me. But I respond as if it did, which I other people had told me and I'm like, "Oh, really? Are you sure?" No. So you making as I talk during your interview, you making audios that comfort people.
Yeah, yeah. I just, I don't know. Sometimes, I'll be laying in bed, struggling to sleep as you do, And
Yes.
I'll just be thinking about shit, thinking about nothing and everything and all the things. And sometimes I'll get on my own tangent in my mind about things, or maybe even like conversations that I've had with friends before, and I'll have more time to think it out. And then it's just like an episode of Epiphany, and I'm like, okay, recording this, so don't forget this is helpful and useful. Let's put it out there.
You just start. Is that where some of those come from?
hmm hmm
You're just letting your brain go, and then realizing, oh.
hmm Absolutely.
I don't think
Absolutely.
I'm that deep of a thinker. I have weird moments of like, oh, that's why I did that. But and then I might write them down. I don't know. I try to be really self-aware, but in the course of all you need to get done, it can be hard to do that self-work, that looking in the mirror kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, it was because I was having a hard time falling asleep. So it wasn't like I was just on purpose, getting into a folded leg position in philosopher mode. I just, it was there. The time was there. And my brain was all like, oh, let's get going. Right down fast. Yeah. I just took advantage of the opportunity.
You just took advantage of the opportunity. I just want to do a shout out that you have a lot of those kind of opportunities. You have posted to YouTube, and that's
Mhm.
free content that anybody can listen to. The handyman has done these. I need to put out a public warning though. His sleep videos, come and join me and let's go to sleep. If he starts talking about food, just stop because you're going to end up wanting to eat. I just need to warn you, and he does often get that's a good, do not listen to that when you are hungry because he will get rhapsodic on about food.
Ah, yes. Edgy.
So edgy. Oh, okay. Since this is about highlighting your voice, I'm going to ask you to talk about pizza as SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I can't really do his voice. I mean, I could do his Venom, though. I can.
Okay, let's do pizza. No, no, no. Let's do pizza as Geralt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
do lasagna as Venom. Or how about no tacos? Let's do tacos as Venom and
Tacos.
pizza as Geralt.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What kind of pizza we going for? I don't know if we want to go classic or supreme. Let's see. Hmm. Ah, such a long day. So much blood on my armor. I'll deal with that tomorrow, though. Right now. Oh, I have this brand new gorgeous culinary conviction called the pizza. I don't know. It's foreign to say it so oddly, but I can't wait to try all of this gooey cheese. The, the greasy meat on it, the vegetables, and places I've never been yet. Oh, the pizza. That's what it was called. I remember now. Ah, good, good. I've not lost my step. Wonderful.
Okay, wait, you have to say the S word as Geralt because, that's a highly requested item.
Right. Yes, of
How
course.
about, how about, how about, oh, every time I cuss, I sound like a preschool teacher. Okay, how about, fuck, I forgot the beer.
Oh, or actually, right after the very first bite. Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's see what this is like. Oh, fuck.
Oh no, Amanda Black, how did you like that? Okay, Venom, do you like sushi or tacos? Which do you like more? You need to like it. Which would Venom like more?
Tacos and sushi together.
Tacos and sushi together.
Yes, yes, indeed. A buffet now.
Okay, you got to say yummy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so bad.
Uh, we have
Okay, who else do I know you do? You do, okay, you don't do Squidward word, but you will do every now and then that really high, crazy voice that is just high. What is the one that is the opposite, the total opposite of the two you just did?
Is it the one that's kind of like Joker-esque? Or,
No, I don't care. Try the Joker-esque one.
um, wait, I'm trying to remember which one.
Any high, you do a high, you say hello high. You have a high range that is ear splitting, and I think the world needs to hear this. So it doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah, here's an easy example. Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Well, mostly him, yeah.
Hi, how you doing there, kids? Hey, you ready to have some fun? Oh, wait, you're all adults. What kind of show is this here, Goofy?
You're about to find out.
Oh, I didn't know you could do Goofy.
Oh, only a little bit, shucks.
Okay. You also do a really good a Russian encouragement. How about Russian encouragement? What kind of Russian encouragement should do? I'm about to choke on my cucumber.
Hold on now. Oh, I didn't know you could do that live. Hold on.
It's vegetables.
Are you okay?
You could do either Russian encouragement or Zen encouragement. I don't know, Chinese.
I might get canceled. I'm gonna put the Russian one.
Okay, yeah, we can't. You can make fun. Do the Russian one.
All right. We have been to very many of these caches. We're starting to run low on all of our ammo. But you know what is fine? It is all fine. See, back in my day, we didn't have all of these fancy schmancy tanks and these rifles that repeat. Now you don't need clips, you have full magazines. We had 2 sticks and 1 rock, and we had to share the rock, and it's fine. You want to know why? Because you never have to reload the rock. So let us go forward through them and secure our land.
You do a good Russian. You do a very good Russian. My publisher had a Russian boyfriend, short-term boyfriend that loved who is that Taylor Swift. Can you do if you don't like, we are listening to Taylor Swift now. If you do not want to listen, I kill you. I don't know. No. I'll unalive you. I don't you want, I could send it to her. I could be like, here, make her.
All right, we're going to listen to Taylor Swift now, the beautiful goddess with the angelic voice. If you don't like it, well, I can revoke your subscription to Life. How does that sound? Good? Wonderful.
Perfect. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Can you do Liam Neeson? And Amanda has a request.
Oh, I don't know if I've never tried that one.
I will find you. I will kill you. I will. Here, I'm going to see if I can find that quote. Maybe.
You have my daughter. Oh no, that's too high. It's deeper, right? Yeah, no, it's deeper. You have my daughter. And yeah, pink sock you. No, I need to practice that one for sure.
You'd have to practice that one. Pink sock you? What? I'm getting a strong Santa Claus or Vicodin Warriors vibes from.
No. It's either of those things.
Yeah, you want the handyman to come to your house and bring you toys? Oh, never mind. I didn't say that. Okay. I'm sorry. No, don't be dirty minded. We're being clean. We're behaving today. Because that's what Santa brings, right? Joy and happiness and toys. Thank you for being a good sport and sharing all these great voices with us.
Oh, it's fun. I enjoy it. Whose request, by the way?
Rate Amanda Black is in the audience, and there are a couple other people in the audience, it looks like, but she is in the chat, and she has asked for, yeah, she was asking for, she loved Venom. She loved them all, I think, but, and she says, yes, thank you, sir. So I don't know what I can't think of any, what does Harry Potter sound like? Can you do Harry Potter?
Right. I guess as a boy, like,
There is speaking, well, we were talking of TikTok. There is a girl who
Mhm.
does Draco impersonations all the time,
Oh,
because when she
yeah.
pulls her hair, have you seen her? She's from
Mhm.
Scotland.
Mhm.
She'd be like, "Hey, you are," and that's her hello. Oh, she's so hilarious. She's like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm not doing very well." And where is she from? Lancaster? She's not from Scotland, but she does
Well,
these great Draco, and she also did from Draco to Cindy Lou Who over Christmas. And oh, she is just so funny. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to kids' parties," and I can't even, it is pretty hilarious. And she's a lot of her whole TikTok is her doing, Harry Potter send ups, and Draco dancing and doing dance trends, which is pretty hilarious. And when she does her hair down and makeup, I guess it's just she's very feminine, so that she can do him is kind of hilarious. But he does have that kind of, I don't know. It's kind of cool. So where are you? You're still trying to I know you want to do more audiobook kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And you could do is that kind of where, and do you want to do game voices still?
Oh, absolutely. That's the goal right there,
That's the
Patty.
goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. You could do, I mean, there are so many game voices you could do. I'll have to hook you up because, one of my sons is like developing this. He's a computer scientist, and he could develop a game, but right now he's working on his master's and trying to decide if he's going to do master's or doctorate. But he loves developing games, and he makes his own music. I wonder, I might just send him to you because he's always wanted to do kind of a psychological, what is really scary kind of game, not just one that's
Yeah.
full of jump scares.
Mhm.
But you would be a great spooky voice for.
Oh,
He showed me
absolutely.
some game in development that that had a crying a baby in a sink, and I went off. I'm like, that doesn't even look like a baby. That is horrific. Why? I don't even understand. How is this a horror? Why did they put it crying? It didn't even look like it. It looked like, you know what? It looked like a big naked mole rat. That's what it looked like.
Oh.
And I'm like, how is that
Oh.
scary?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, no, that would be awesome. Honestly, I would love to do that.
Oh, it would be
Um,
cool if he could turn that story into a video game.
yeah, absolutely. It would be
I'll
great to
have to
voice
send you
characters.
his link, and you could tell him you don't know me. But I'll send you his link. His Twitter is really fun. He has a what does he have? He has this game that's kind of a new game that he can program games into it, and you can buy games, and it looks like one of the old Game Boys.
Oh.
And so he can make games and put them in it. He has one game that he made before he went to college. He was only like 17, and it was called Shooty, where you basically run around and shoot everybody. And then he made a game, couple other in that same theme, and they were just these kind of very old fashioned, along the lines of, what is that game? Meteor. You've seen that game.
I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, you were that young, but the meteor game. And, but that would be neat if you voiced something for him and he shared that with his community, because he's on a big gaming Discord, and with other computer scientists who are coming up, computer, science majors that are
Mhm.
coming up and building stuff. His reason for not going into the gaming industry is because a lot of it is run in a foreign, all over the world, and they are workhorses. They work you very hard and they pay you very little. And which is one reason why he's not sure he wants to do it. He'd love to make a game, but he's like, there are just so many horror stories of having to be under the whip, literally, and then getting paid very little. But he loves giving away free stuff on his platforms, creating stuff and giving it away for free. That would be really cool. I'll ask him if he needs an interesting voice. And he's always that's one of his dreams, is to make a psychological thriller that really makes people think.
Mhm. That would be very awesome because that's the kind of horror that I prefer. I mean, sure, the spooky stuff is great, but so many people that make movies of the spooky stuff or games, it's usually they just take the easy route and go over the same tropes. But the psychological ones, they're always most of the time they're fucking amazing. They're always fantastic, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
they're like twists and then like negative twists where you think something's gonna happen, especially if you've seen movies like that for a while, and
Mhm.
then just nothing, and then it's like,
Yeah.
well, when's it gonna happen? I, ah.
One of my boys wanted a book. You would probably love this book. It was called The House of Leaves. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't.
Oh, interesting. Have you ever have you ever heard of I'm sure there's a movie, but the book is better, The House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah, no, I think I saw that and The Haunting at Bly Manor both on Netflix.
So The House at Haunted Hill, if you read the book, if you go or listen to the audiobook on YouTube. It's written by a woman and she's written other horror. It's got the opening sentence in that book is rated as one of the best written opening sentences ever. And it's a ghost story, but it is also the descent of a woman involved in the ghost story into madness. And her descent is much more scary than the ghostly things going on around them. It's not just, she's not the only one in the story, and so they're witnessing other ghost things, but you are witnessing her fall into us insanity. And I couldn't finish the book because I knew that was happening. It was just watching this sweet, broken woman fall into that was the horror for me. I just couldn't. It's a really well crafted story. Um, I want to recommend that to you because turning that into something that would be a game would be cool.
That would be my greatest achievement.
That would be your crowning moment.
Oh, God, I would love to do that. Or, even character voices for animators on YouTube as well. That would also be fun.
Oh yeah, that really, and see, you could do multi-character voices. That is the interesting thing about your voice. You're not plugged into like the commander. You're not plugged into that one voice. You have a lot of ability to do a lot of other voices. So there's plenty of opportunity. You just need to break into it's a hard industry to get
Yeah,
into, but
sure.
but it's something you can do remote.
That is very helpful for me. I would love to play. I don't know. Villains and anti-heroes are very fun to play. Like characters like
Yeah.
Deadpool or just like good guys that are good, but they're not goody two shoes. It's not like Batman
Yeah.
or Superman, but they they, they will cut somebody apart, kind of thing. Because there's just so much more to them. There's so much more
Yeah. Yeah.
human.
What is it like Jamie Lannister? I read the book, not but from the Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
His character was at the beginning, you're like, he is this very evil, selfish, crazy guy. And then as the book series develops and his world is falling apart around him and he's faced with some of the choices he made, you start to see how human his choices were and how human he is.
Mm.
And it's pretty cool. It's pretty it was one of the books that I read for the writing. I got caught up in the writing and the craft. I don't usually,
Yeah.
but the author George R. Martin, the way he did the multi-level of his evil characters they weren't just one dimensional is the most fascinating thing ever.
Yeah, basically, not just bad guys, but good men that were ruined by their hard choices.
Yeah, or hard men trying to be good men. What did I watch? I watched it was not a great movie, but the concept of it was good. It was a Sylvester Stallone movie, and it was a hero movie. So in this movie, there was this little boy who thought Sylvester Stallone was this hero.
Mm.
And there were two brothers, and he thought he was the good brother who was, yes, the Samaritan.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Did you
recent one
see?
too.
Yes, and it's worth watching just because of the character idea, the development of that character. The scenes were kind of unbelievable, but but the character of the Samaritan was a fascinating. It was well played. It was worth watching because of that, because you don't get to see, bad guys who are trying to be, who knew that invisible, basically, that he wasn't necessarily trying to be a good guy because he didn't think he was worthy enough to be a good guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And
movies.
that's the thing about those bad characters.
Yeah, movies like that, and like Hancock. Hancock was one that was like that. Really enjoyed.
Yes. Yeah. See, you could do these roles by voice. Oh, those would be good.
Oh, I think it'd be fun.
We need to get some people to send in you stuff to read and to
Oh
voice
man,
act
yeah,
and put your teeth into it. Get your voice. Yeah, that would be cool.
I would love to do that. It really would.
I'm gonna have to let you go. It's been an hour and I have bajillion things to do tonight. I gotta go work on that Discord, and I gotta go have dinner, which is probably getting close to being done. And yeah, so thank you so much for coming on at this spur of the moment conversation and talking about all the crazy things we talked about, because I didn't have a plan.
Oh, it was lovely. It was lovely. Hey, some of the best things are unplanned. In fact, no real plan survives contact anyway. So I agree.
There you go. Okay. If you say so. I am going to hit the end credits. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, Amanda Black, and everyone else whose names I cannot see, but I see 4 people in the room. So, and there's only 2 of us talking. So thank you very much for coming and hanging out. Thank you, Amanda, for interacting, asking questions, and making requests. I appreciate it so much. Um, and yeah, you go have a really good night. I know it's a little bit later where you are, and I'm gonna work on some stuff and have some dinner.
Alrighty, well, you have a good night too. And I guess I'll do one more little short voice before I go.
Okay, go ahead.
Make sure to have a really good time now. Don't forget to brush your teeth now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
I don't know if I needed that one. Thank you very much. See, so many voices. You have a good evening.
You too.
And that was the handyman, whose links I will put in the show notes. You can find him under that name on Instagram. And on Instagram, that's where his link tree is. And you can find all the other stuff, which I can't post on Facebook. So you all have a very good evening. Thank you so much, handyman, for sharing this hour with me. And thank you very much, Amanda. Now go out and tell your story. Share your story with the world.